When I was 17, my 11-year-old brother, Leo, was diagnosed with severe nonverbal autism and progressive motor decline. Our parents threw this massive fundraiser, bought Team Leo t-shirts, and swore, on camera, that we would tackle his care as a team. For the first month, they did. They posted daily updates, soaking up the praise from our church and neighbors. But then, the real work began. The sleepless nights, the meltdowns, the endless therapy sessions. Slowly they checked out. Mom always had a brutal migraine. Dad suddenly had to work impossible overtime. Suddenly, I was the one changing my preteen brother's clothes, pureeing his meals, and holding him on the kitchen floor for hours while he screamed from sensory overload. I missed my prom. I missed my track meets. My grades tanked. Meanwhile, my parents' social media was filled with weekend getaways and date nights, mental health breaks, they called them. The breaking point was Leo's spinal surgery. They promised to cover the hospital shifts. But on night 2, Mom texted saying she was just too emotionally drained to see him in pain. Dad didn't even reply. I stayed in that hospital chair for 9 days straight. When Leo was discharged, my parents threw a huge welcome home block party. They stood next to his wheelchair, smiling for photos, accepting hugs for being such warriors. That night, I caught Leo rocking back and forth, holding the worn-out baseball glove I had bought him, staring at our parents' closed door. He couldn't speak, but his eyes said everything. The week I turned 18, I didn't plan a party. I packed Leo's bags and mine and moved into a tiny, rundown apartment. I took a graveyard shift at a warehouse to pay rent and filed for legal guardianship. My parents were furious. They claimed I was stealing their son for attention. But in court, the judge asked them a single question. What is your son's daily medication dosage? They stared at each other, completely blank. I got custody that morning. 2 years later, Mom called me, sobbing. Dad had suffered a massive stroke. She begged me to come home, to help manage his physical therapy and round-the-clock care. We're a family, she wept. We have to be there for each other. I drove to the rehab center, walked into Dad's room, and looked at them. They looked so old, so scared, waiting for me to take over. I set a pack of Team Leo t-shirts on his bedside table. I hope your followers come help you, I whispered. Then I walked out, and never looked back. Today, Leo took his first unassisted steps into